Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and visionaries, welcome to the 10th anniversary of Hong Kong FinTech Week and the Start Me Up HK Festival, a decade of innovation and excellence. Welcome to Hong Kong, where innovation meets the world. I'm Jamilet Kano, and I'm going to be your host for these 2 excellent days. We have amazing speakers, incredible content, and you don't want to miss out. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me to welcome and give a big round of applause to the Honorable John K.C. Lee, the Chief Executive of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region of the People's Republic of China. Welcome him. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you can be seated. And today, Hong Kong is set to be dazzled by an amazing, immersive digital and live performance to celebrate a decade of excellence and innovation in Hong Kong. This incredible performance blends cutting-edge technology together with the live artistry to share Hong Kong's vision of entrepreneurship spirit. Let's enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, cutting-edge technology and live artistry here in Hong Kong. Congratulations to the amazing performance. Thank you so much to the dancers and to the creators of this digital port. Today, we celebrate not only a decade of innovation, ambition, and entrepreneurial success, but also the incredible strides that Hong Kong has made as a global fintech and startup powerhouse. These events are a testament to the resilience, creativity, and collaboration to drive the future of finance and technology. So let's celebrate the remarkable milestones and set the stage to even bigger, brighter future. We would like to take this opportunity to thank our event organizers, the Financial Services and the Treasury Bureau, the Commerce and Economic Development Bureau, and Invest Hong Kong. Our event co-organizers, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, Securities and Futures Commission, and Insurance Authority, and also the appointed event organizer, Finoverse, for their 10th anniversary too. Thank you for putting together this amazing group of speakers, thought leaders, and innovators for us. And to mark the beginning of this extraordinary week of Hong Kong FinTech Week and the Start Me Up HK Festival, it is my honor once again to welcome the Honorable John K.C. Lee, the Chief Executive of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region of the People's Republic of China, to give us his welcoming remarks. Please welcome him.
Honorable Deputy Governor Liu Lei, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. A very warm welcome to this year's Hong Kong FinTech Week and Start Me Up Hong Kong Festival, running concurrently for the very first time as we enter a new era of innovation. This strategic alliance on the 10th anniversary of both flagship events creates an unparalleled opportunity to amplify innovation, technology, and global collaboration on an unprecedented scale. Your presence this week is equally unprecedented. This week's event is the largest FinTech gathering in Hong Kong's history, bringing together more than 37,000 executives, 800 speakers, and 700 exhibitors from over 100 economies. Networking never looked so good. Hong Kong is made for collaboration, built for innovation, for companies, entrepreneurs, investors, and professionals like you, each and every one of you here today and throughout this eventful week. Our unique positioning is well recognized by the world. In September, Hong Kong placed third overall and tops in Asia in the Global Financial Centers Index. The index also named Hong Kong FinTech #1 globally. Not surprising, given that Hong Kong is now home to more than 1,200 FinTech companies, up 10% from last year. Given, too, that our FinTech sector is expected to exceed $600 billion in total revenue by 2032, with a cheering growth rate exceeding 28% a year. More good news. In September, the Shenzhen-Hong Kong-Guangzhou Innovation Cluster finished first in the World Intellectual Property Organization's top 100 innovation clusters. And after placing second overall the previous 5 years. It helps, too, that we continue to attract talented professionals. Indeed, Hong Kong placed 4th globally and 1st in Asia in the world's talent ranking. That's up from 9th last year and 16th the year before. And let me add, Hong Kong finished number 1 in Asia and world's best in the percentage of science graduates. In this year's World Investment Report, released by the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, our city moved up to 3rd place overall in foreign direct investment inflows. And as you know, it's been a banner year for initial public offerings here in Hong Kong. In the first 9 months of the year, IPO fundraising has surpassed $23 billion, underlining and bold-facing Hong Kong's revitalized status as the world's premier listing and capital raising venue. These and other international kudos reflect Hong Kong's status as a super connector and super value adder. We help to link the markets from China, our country, with those around the globe. We help startups go from local prototypes to global success. Under the one country, two systems principle, Hong Kong draws opportunities from both our country and the world. This dual advantage drives our connectivity and development. From January 2023 to September 2025, Invest Hong Kong, our dedicated investment promotion agency, has helped more than 1,400 overseas and mainland companies establish or expand their businesses in Hong Kong. They have brought in more than $24 billion in foreign direct investment, creating some 20,000 jobs within the first year of their operation or expansion. This week, we are welcoming more than 30 mainland and international delegations here for FinTech Week and the Start Me Up Hong Kong Festival. And tomorrow, the Global Financial Leaders Investment Summit returns, bringing together some 300 global financial leaders, including over 100 group chairmen and CEOs. Hong Kong's role in connecting mainland and international markets has never been clearer. In my recent policy address delivered in September, I introduced a series of initiatives to drive growth and strengthen Hong Kong's competitiveness. To cement our status as an international financial center, we will deepen the equity market, expand world-class bond currency markets, while advancing the insurance and asset and wealth management sectors. In equities, we will support technology companies from the mainland in fundraising, encourage overseas enterprises to pursue secondary listings here, and welcome the return of China concept stock companies from overseas markets, with Hong Kong as their preferred destination. We are committed to enhancing bond market infrastructure, establishing connections with overseas markets such as Switzerland and the United Arab Emirates. Hong Kong is proud to be the world's largest offshore renminbi hub. We will continue to support its growing use in our economy. The Hong Kong Monetary Authority will make use of the currency swap arrangement with the People's Bank of China to give companies longer-term renminbi financing for trade, operations, and capital expenditure. To strengthen asset and wealth management, we will enhance preferential tax regimes for funds single-family offices, and carried interest. The capital investment entrance scheme will also be relaxed to encourage more investors. In fintech, our monetary authority's project Ensemble is exploring tokenization in conventional finance while applying the supervisory sandbox to boost innovation under prudent risk management. We are also accelerating the transformation of innovation and technology, focusing on key sectors such as artificial intelligence, life and health sciences, new energy, and aerospace. From building AI research clusters and enabling cross-boundary clinical trials to advancing hydrogen infrastructure, our goal is to help emerging industries scale and thrive. At the same time, we are strengthening collaboration with the mainland to build a green and sustainable finance market supporting long-term development. We are committed to contributing to national development while deepening international exchanges and cooperation. The Go Global Task Force, announced in my latest policy address, was launched last month. It is designed to help mainland businesses expand overseas using Hong Kong as their springboard. Working with Invest Hong Kong, our economic and trade officers, the Trade Development Council, and other governmental agencies, Go Global will smooth the way for mainland companies to find foreign markets and global capital. Plenty of opportunities there for all concerned. In short, ladies and gentlemen, the future is bright for Hong Kong and the companies, investors, and talent that work with Hong Kong. This year's anniversary editions of Hong Kong's FinTech Week and the Smart Be Up Hong Kong Festival will give you a jump start on the promising future of cooperation. This flagship event, very much like Hong Kong, connects you with a world of promising opportunities together with the latest insight, intelligence, and innovative technology. The main conference today and tomorrow features 11 targeted forums ranging from health and insurtech to digital finance and assets, blockchain, AI, a China Global Innovation Forum, and more. And the international exhibition area spotlights finance, fintech, and other advanced technology. I'm grateful to the organizers, the Financial Services and the Treasury Bureau, and Invest Hong Kong, among others, together with our many supporters, for staging this vital global gathering over the past 10 years, a decade of success. And while you are here with us, I urge you to invest some time exploring Hong Kong, the world's rising East meets West center for international cultural exchange and good times. I wish you all a rewarding week and the best of fintech, startups, and investment in the coming year. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Executive, for making us feel the uniqueness of Hong Kong. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chief Executive has to depart now due to other work engagements. But thank you, Chief Executive, for gracing us at our event with your presence. Ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. It's such an honor to always have him at events like this. We now know that what truly sets Hong Kong apart is the ability of collaboration from startups, financial institutions, regulators, and all of us. This collaboration also makes Hong Kong the best platform between East and West. This synergy has powered its transformation into thriving ecosystems, where ideas don't only emerge, they become global. And today, we celebrate the 10th years of Hong Kong that has not only supported and championed innovation, but shaping the future of fintech and entrepreneurship. Ladies and gentlemen, the next session will be conducted in Mandarin. And I would like to introduce our next keynote address. Please welcome on stage our distinguished speaker, the People's Bank of China Deputy Governor Liu Lei.
各位同事、各位嘉宾朋友，大家上午好。很高兴啊，今天能够参加今年的金融科技周活动。大家都知道，我们的“14+5”即将收官，“15+5”即将开启。值此机会呢，我想就人民银行近年来在金融科技领域开展的工作，内地与香港的相关合作，跟各位做一个交流。第一个方面呢，是运用金融科技赋能经济金融发展。科学技术是第一生产力，金融科技也就是 FinTech， 作为技术驱动的金融创新，已成为数字经济背景下金融发展方式和治理体系变革的重要驱动力。中国人民银行高度重视金融科技工作，充分发挥人工智能和数据要素的双轮驱动作用，稳妥推动金融数字化转型迈上新台阶，为做好金融5篇大文章提供有力支撑。一是呢，我们深化新一代人工智能技术金融应用。当前，以大模型为代表的新一代人工智能技术，其内容生成、泛化迁移、逻辑推理、交互对话等能力实现了跨越式提升，正在开启智能化发展的新时代。中国人民银行高度重视新一代人工智能技术的金融应用工作，研究制定了人工智能加金融的一系列政策文件，引导内地金融机构在安全合规前提下，稳妥发挥大模型的智慧大脑作用，统筹任务规划调度，串联复杂金融业务，实现能力有效整合和业务高效协同，探索拓展金融生产的可能性边界，也就是 PPF。我们想啊，所谓探索拓展金融生产的可能性边界，目的就在于使我们能够用更低的成本提供当前有的金融产品和服务，或者拓展出原本没有的金融产品和服务。这就是PPF 的含义，赋能金融机构经营模式变革升级。二是全面激活金融领域数据要素潜能。金融作为国民经济的血脉，每个环节都伴随着海量数据的产生、流转和应用。为充分释放金融领域数据要素潜能，人民银行牵头开展了金融领域的数据要素试点，引导金融机构对海量多维数据开展关联分析和深度应用，实现对市场趋势、用户诉求的全景式洞察。同时，发布实施人民银行业务领域数据安全管理办法，会同有关部门印发了促进和规范金融业数据跨境流动合规指南，促进中外资金融机构金融业数据实现更加高效、规范的跨境流动。三是持续强化金融科技的跨境监管合作，为支持金融机构、科技公司在风险可控的真实市场环境中打磨符合监管要求、 满足用户需求的金融科技创新应用，人民银行同香港金管局、澳门金管局签订了合作备忘录，将人民银行金融科技创新监管工具与香港金管局金融科技监管沙盒联网、澳门金管局金融科技试行项目的监管要求实现联网对接，推出了一批金融科技跨境创新测试项目，引导金融机构运用人工智能、大数据等技术，提升两地居民金融服务的可得性和便利性。第二个方面，高效便捷的跨境支付服务为经济保驾护航。近年来，内地与香港经贸合作人员往来更加密切，居民对于实时、便捷、低成本的跨境支付服务需求更加强烈。中国人民银行高度重视与香港的跨境支付合作，探索运用多项金融科技创新手段，积极推进跨境支付的互联互通，促进两地经济融合发展。一是持续扩展人民币跨境支付系统 SIPS 在港业务。近年来 ，SIPS 陆续投产债券通北向通和南向通资金结算功能，并推出了港元支付清算业务，为内地与香港间跨境债券交易提供安全便捷的资金结算服务。截至到今年9月底 ，SIPS 在香港共有11家直接参与者和120家间接参与者，为国际贸易、投融资等提供安全高效的跨境轻结算服务。二是积极推进两地快速支付系统互联合作。人民银行与香港金管局顺应内地与香港经济融合发展趋势，以推动两地快速支付系统的互联互通，也就是大家知道的跨境支付通，并于2025年6月成功上线，为两地居民提供线上快速的双边本币以及双边人民币汇款服务。业务上线以来，系统运行平稳，业务处理正常，社会公众的反应良好。三是深化跨境二维码支付互联互通。在这儿呢，中国银联、网联清算公司、支付宝、财付通等积极推进粤港澳大湾区二维码支付的跨境互联，便利两地居民跨境扫码支付。近期呢，人民银行组织建成了跨境二维码统一网关，作为我对外开展跨境二维码支付合作的统一接口，进一步为两地机构开展跨境二维码支付合作提供了便利。第三个方面，展望未来，运用数字人民币探索跨境支付新方案。中国是最早启动法定数字货币研发和应用试点的国家之一，在理论设计、技术架构、应用场景等方面已经积累了丰富经验。中国人民银行提出的无损、合规和互通3原则，已经成为法定数字货币基础设施建设的基本原则。我们积极与各方共同探讨开放、包容和创新的跨境支付方案，为数字经济高质量发展提供力量。一是推动多边央行数字货币桥合作，探索跨境支付的新范式。中国人民银行和香港金融管理局等多个货币当局共同探索，形成了以多边央行数字货币桥为范本的多边合作模式。基于央行合约、平等治理和区块链架构，连接各经济体支付系统和法定数字货币系统，实现多币种的秒级直通式跨境支付。二是依托数字人民币跨境支付平台，为央行数字货币跨境支付合作提供中国方案。人民银行提供以数字人民币跨境支付平台为依托的双边合作模式，灵活支持与各货币当局系统跨境互联互通，享受智能化跨境消费、贸易和投融资的数字体验。目前呢，已实现数字人民币跨境支付平台与香港转数快系统的联通，使数字人民币服务覆盖本港居民。 三是构建区块链加数字资产双平台，激活价值互联网新引擎。人民银行推出数字人民币区块链服务平台和数字资产平台，通过这2个平台的互相联动，可在同质监管、风险可控的前提下，探索有利于提升监管效率和穿透性的资产数字化创新，提升价值流转效率与透明度，推动经济要素高效流转与优化配置，赋能价值互联网。各位来宾、各位同事、各位朋友，香港是国际金融中心和国际创新科技中心。粤港澳大湾区是我们国家开放程度最高、经济活力最强、最具竞争力的世界级城市群之一，在发展金融科技方面具有得天独厚的优势，未来发展前景广阔。中国人民银行将持续深化内地同香港在金融科技领域的务实合作，推出更多惠民利企的创新应用，坚定不移支持香港国际金融中心建设，更好服务中国金融高水平对外开放和高质量发展。同时呢，我们愿继续加强同各国央行、货币当局以及各个国际机构在金融科技领域的交流合作，及时分享金融科技中国故事，同时学习借鉴国际的最佳实践，积极在全球金融科技发展中做出我们应有的贡献。最后，预祝香港金融科技周活动圆满成功，谢谢大家。
Thank you, Mr. Lei, for your kind words. And remember, everybody, there's a couple of things to have for you have an amazing experience in the event. If you haven't said hello to Samantha, remember that you can chat to her on WhatsApp, quick 5-minute call, and she will understand your interests and connect you with the best leaders. Also, we have the simultaneous translation provided by TTV AI, both in English and Mandarin. And if you want to take photos, please do so, but hashtag for our event on social media, HKFTWXSMUF25. Well, for our next star panel, Creating New FinTech Era, I am honored to start introducing our speakers on stage. Please welcome the Honorable Christopher Hui, GBS JP, Secretary for the Financial Services and Treasury, the Government of Hong Kong Special Administrative Region. Together with Eric Shandong Jing, Chairman of Ant Group, and Fred Ho, Founder, Chairman, and CEO of Primavera Capital Group. Leading the conversation, our moderator, Drew Propson, Technology and Innovation in Financial Services, World Economic Forum. Please welcome them all on stage.
Great. Welcome, everyone, to this session on curating the new FinTech era. Certainly a very forward-looking topic, and I'm absolutely delighted to be exploring this and discussing it with such an esteemed panel of experts here from really across the FinTech ecosystem. As we kick off, I have a question, same question for each of you, and I really want us to maybe take a look at the current environment and think forward. Where is it that perhaps technology is moving most quickly in reshaping financial services? And what are perhaps the most exciting changes in the near term that customers will see? And when I talk about customers, I mean both businesses as well as individuals. So Chris, I'll start with you, please.
First of all, I must congratulate the team in Invest Hong Kong for putting together this panel, because after all, it's quite a good composition with people from the regulatory government side, from the investor side, and also with the innovators here. And talking about the question you mentioned, I think in general, fintech, we encompasses two key technologies. One is blockchain, one is AI. And for the former, what you can see is that at the market level, the government has been taking a lot of initiative in terms of leading the market in tokenizing our bond issuances. And right now, we have already done more than once, and also one is more than just Hong Kong dollar, but multiple currencies. And what we found out is that when we do the settlement on-chain with the both securities and the cash tokens during the DVP, basically the settlement cycle can be reduced from 5 to 1 day. So it's more a market efficiency level that you see as a benefit. So another benefit that you see, apart from the market, is more from the corporate angle, as you mentioned. We have surveyed the financial institutions in Hong Kong, and basically right now, about 75% have already either adopted or piloted generative AI. So hopefully in 3 to 5 years' time, this number is going to rise to more than 87%. So in this context, customers will benefit, because after all, with AI adoption, with more efficient and also more user-friendly services, there will be a greater user experience. And finally, in terms of at the individual level, as you mentioned, just now we heard the speech by the Deputy Governor of People's Bank of China, and one thing that he mentioned is about the payment connect that we had with them. I think it's another technology that we are adopting and also facilitating the seamless cross-boundary flow of payment at a more livelihood level in such a way that the Greater Bay Area and also the cross-boundary payment angle can be further enhanced. So in general, I would say there are three things happening at the market, at the corporate, and also in the individuals where blockchain and AI is benefiting the market.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Eric, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, I totally agree with Chris that AI and blockchain are going to reshape the financial services. Let me elaborate a little bit, for the financial service sector, it's really kind of the data-rich and language-heavy business. Data-rich is obvious for language-heavy because the financial product services is really kind of very abstract and complex and credit-based. They have relied heavily on the language for description, for the communication. So by seeing that, so the Gen AI, we have a profound impact on the financial sector. So not on one particular domain, but not a few, really on every domains of the financial sector, from the back office all the way to the customer-facing interface. So that's going to happen. So the near-term change I can expect maybe for every kind of customers of the bank, they're going to have a dedicated account manager, which is an AI agent. So be answering questions, be resolve the problems, give you personalized recommendations, 724 at the minimum cost. But behind that is really kind of the multi-agent systems, agentic systems in a bank. So that's something I can expect in the near term for the will be coming up for in the financial sector by application of AI. So talking about tokenization. Tokenization that is powered by blockchain converts various assets into tokens on the chain, right? Enables assets to be traded very transparently, very credibly across institutions, across markets. So what I see the two near-term changes we can expect. One is on the payment areas. So with tokenized money, tokenized fiat currency, tokenized bank deposit, or tokenized or other settlement tokens. So with that, we can really achieving kind of real-time global payment that will benefit global trade, enhance the global trade settlement efficiency. We benefit every companies engaging in global trade. That's one near-term change. The other one, I think, with more regulated kind of innovation norms, with more kind of regulated institutions participation. Under Web3, the transactions on blockchain is beginning to shifting from purely speculation to the value exchange. I think we'll be seeing an increase in adoption of the tokenized economy, tokenized financial services. That's a two change is going to be driven by the blockchain. Yeah, that's my comment on that.
Yeah, great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. The investor perspective, Fred, do you want to round us out?
Yeah, first of all, I echo what Chris and Eric have said about the fundamental role of AI in reshaping, transforming financial services industry as we know it. Because AI is such incredibly important foundational general purpose technology. It has huge potential to reshape, financial services, end to end, the entire workflow, the entire ecosystem, from product offering to customer acquisition, customer service, to enterprise productivity, risk management, right? So insofar it's going to dramatically increase the efficiency, productivity of financial services, make finance more easily accessible to the general public, right? So make it more democratic, more inclusive, but also make it more secure, more reliable, sounder in terms of financial stability and risk mitigation. So, this is terribly exciting change right now. So from an investor point of view, so there's such a variety of high potential, high promise, high return opportunities. Obviously, depending on who you are, right? You may want to do many of them, you want to do some of them. So from my point of view, I'm most excited about maybe 3 potential areas, especially here in Asia. One is AI-driven wealth management, the wealth tech, like AI robo advisors. Yeah. Because Asia, now following US, particularly with the rise of China, India, Southeast Asia. So Asia become the epicenter of wealth creation, right? On the heel of the United States. So especially with the mass affluent, given the sheer numerical number, traditional financial service will be hard-pressed to meet the needs. So we have to go automation, go through AI to meet the demand for wealth management service here in Asia. By the way, I think Eric and also financial inclusion. So that's only possible if we use an AI technology. The traditional high-touch brick model, just not well equipped to meet this demand, right? The second area I'd highlight is really the whole green finance and sustainability. Again, why it's so important? Because we are right in the center of global green technology innovation, energy transition, and decarbonization. China is the undisputed global leader in renewable energy, in EV, in batteries, in storage, and financial services need to keep up. So I think there's a lot of potential for us, already Chinese financial institutions, including and the companies and issue more green bonds, green loans than anywhere else in the world. So here in Hong Kong, as the financial center, we can really harness the creative innovation potential of AI to lead the world in green finance. The last one I would mention briefly, just for the sake of brevity, is using AI for better cross-border payments. We already have it, but it's very, very fragmented, antiquated. So with the AI, we make the cross-border payments more instantaneous, faster, more secure, and easier, and for both B2B and B2C. So that will further, help, like globalization in the face of tariff wars and all the stuff, right? So we can use technology, break the barriers, make the finance borderless, seamless. So again, I put my bet on AI to help us achieve that.
Fantastic. So a lot going on with innovation technologies. A lot of everything you mentioned could be very global in nature. I want us to take this to a very local point for a moment. And Chris, I'll come to you. I know mentioned earlier this morning was the talent conversation and Hong Kong really being able to drive a lot of that talent. If we're looking at Cyberport in particular, as global trends in 2025 integrate blockchain with AI and DeFi for real-world applications, Cyberport schemes fund pilots such as maritime asset tokenization and blockchain-based ticketing solutions. How do these initiatives, paired with Policy Statement 2.0's focus on talent development, position Hong Kong as a leader in embedding digital assets across finance, trade, and the real economy?
I think you are referring to an earlier policy statement that we have provided, basically highlighted the government's one government approach in terms of trying to grow the digital asset market here in Hong Kong. And to summarize the initiatives that we have put them under the framework of called LEAP, to encompass LEAP. For L is more about legal and compliance. In particular, we've already enacted the law on stablecoin, which is now being implemented by our banking regulator. And also, we are now reviewing our legislation to make sure that they are compatible with smart contracts going forward. And for the E, it's about expansion of product suites to encompass more tokenized products, as you mentioned, including the tokenized investment in maritime income, which I'll come back to later on. And for A, is about the advancing of use cases, in particular the Cyberport program you mentioned. Basically, the idea is that we hope through Cyberport as a matchmaker, we can try to identify projects where the financial institutions can work with the fintech companies and also put them in commercialization. And so far, there are already 9 projects in stream, and they are now being incubated, so to speak, by Cyberport. And I would broadly classify them into 3 broad categories. One is more finance-related, as you mentioned, about investment. And right now, a project being undertaken is in terms of how we can tokenize the long-term income arising from the maritime vessel rental in such a way that they can be converted into investment products. Because after all, it is verifiable, traceable. At the same time, it's a very stable income stream that right now, with interest rate coming down, could be of interest to investors. So it's something more on the investment side. And another thing which is in between, about finance, but also about market efficiency angle, is about a project undertaken by a fintech company to facilitate payment of credit cards, payment settlement to the merchandise. Because right now, if you talk about the credit card payment at the customer end, of course, it's easy. You wipe the card. But once the money has to go to the merchandise, basically it takes up to 72 hours or even more. But now with AI or even blockchain being adopted, the idea is that these 72 hours can be reduced to less than 10 seconds. So it will be a tremendous benefit to the merchandise. They can get the money early. And at the same time, once the bank uses technology, which is blockchain in nature, they don't need to have a blockchain technology of its own. Basically, they can leverage this technology developed by our fintech company, hosted by our Cyberport to do that. So it's more in between, finance and also payment related. And the third one, which I'm sure what your question is alluded to, is more about livelihood, like basic livings of people. As all of you know, right now we have a large-scale covered stadium called Kitech, which has been hosting many major events. And one thing that is always come as a pain point is that how we can ensure the one who's holding the ticket is the one that has already bought it. So one of the technologies and also innovations being incubated also by our Cyberport is to utilize the so-called decentralized identity in such a way that you don't need to have a centralized database to keep everybody's name, but rather you have a bespoke token or QR code, which is really akin to the buyer of the ticket and also is in possession by the organizer in such a way that we can check the identity of the ticket holder, make sure that it's correct with no scalping, yet to make sure that no privacy issue arises. So all in all, we can see that the Cyberport program is trying to be as encompassing as possible, not just finance related, but also to cover the basic livelihood and also the daily lives issues, especially those pain points that we need to deal with.
Yeah, thank you very much. Eric, we talked a little bit about the various technologies already in the last question, but I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into that. And how is Hong Kong leveraging frontier technologies such as AI and Web3 to enhance its financial services system? and improve service quality. What lessons can be drawn from Ant's experience in particular as a fintech leader in this space?
Yeah, Hong Kong, the Hong Kong regulator, Hong Kong may need in the past to push the application of AI and Web3 via the sandbox mechanisms. We are very honored to join the sandbox. The first one is Project Assemble. Through Project Assemble, actually last year, we really achieved kind of the real-time settlement across the branches in different markets of the same global bank, the interbank real-time settlement last year. By working together with some other participants in the sandbox, HSBC, Standard Chartered Bank. So this year, we kind of through the interoperable layer of the Project Assemble, we realize across bank the real-time settlement through the tokenized bank deposit. So that's really giving a huge kind of the confidence that through this tokenized deposit, tokenized money, we can really achieve the global real-time settlement. That's number one. Secondly, on the Gen AI, we also participated in that sandbox as well. It's really kind of pushing the use of AI for the two areas. From our perspective, that one is using our digital tech, part of Ant Group, help the banks here to build AI agents. So basically, AI agents will be there, so really providing the different kind of services in the different domains in the bank. Secondly, is really focusing on the risk assessment, because with Gen AI, can optimize the financial analysis and also can have a good analysis on unstructured data. That's very critical. So it's really about using AI for the broader kind of credit assessment, the risk management in that areas. So what I was learning there is really, I mean, 4 pillars are very essential to kind of drive that the success of Sandbox. I think the 4 things. Number one is really regulated innovation. Second one is really use case driven. Third one is about collaborative ecosystem. Really, the participants are from different backgrounds. They're banks, they're tech companies, there's some other participants working together closely. The last but not least is really it's about so there was the last one. I forgot the last one. So the use case driven, the collaborative, and also with the regulatory innovation. Those are critical, important to come up together.
Yeah.
That's my comment. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe, Fred, as we look a bit more across Asia, as an investor shaping Asia's technology landscape, what do you see as the most promising fintech frontiers? You talked a little bit about AI before. And how can capital be deployed to ensure long-term sustainable growth in Asia and beyond?
Yeah, I already mentioned in earlier comments. I think in Asia, AI has so much potential across such a wide spectrum, right? I think there's so many different opportunities to adopt AI, transform financial services to serve the real economy. I mentioned the wealth management. I mentioned green finance, sustainability, and I would say, it's also financial inclusion. I think because Asia, much of Asia population is still kind of, from low income to high income, emerging middle class. So that's for many of them still they're not well served by traditional financial services, to say this, right? That's not just individual customers, but also SME, small and medium-sized enterprises, okay? So to really make a financial service available to them, whether it's credit, bond financing, or equity and wealth management tools, or even risk management tools, I think AI is the promise. AI is the answer. So I think, private sector, investors like us, and society at large should channel more resources into those areas so we can fully unleash the potential of AI and the transform of financial services here in Asia.
Yeah, thank you. Chris, back to you. I do want to, again, go local, and I really want to think through that regulatory support mechanism alongside Cyberport and talk a little bit further too as well about digital assets. So Policy Statement 2.0 establishes a licensing regime for digital assets, and Cyberport's blockchain and digital asset pilot subsidy scheme, launched this year in June, funds compliant pilots with up to 500,000 Hong Kong dollars. How does this synergy ensure projects align with regulatory standards while enhancing investor confidence and market liquidity in Hong Kong?
Yeah. I think you point to a very important area that we're looking into is in terms of why we are doing all these kind of sandboxes or subsidy programs. I think the idea is not just to cultivate more innovation, but in particular to see what kind of regulatory feedback that we can get in such a way that we can, in one hand, try to engender more innovation. On the other hand, try to what are the policy or regulatory issues that we need to deal with to facilitate more innovation. Like, for example, one thing that we have done is in terms of clarifying the stamp duty waiver that's currently applicable to ETFs. We have already clarified that also to include digitized ETFs if they are traded on some of our regulated digital asset exchanges. And the idea is that before we have these science sandboxes, before these types of innovations, we don't really know exactly where are the areas within our existing policy framework that we need to revamp. But with these new cases, then in turn, provide a very good feedback to us. That's why we identify this in the area that we look into. And another area that you are interesting is about the tokenization in terms of the money market fund. Because right now, it is a very liquid market, at the same time, draw a lot of capital. But at the same time, there are a lot of corporates. On a daily basis, they have ample cash to invest in. If you rely solely on the current banking system, there could be a time lag in terms of when they get the cash and also when they can get the yield. But with a blockchain that are bridging this gap, we can allow a lot of seamless investments of these corporate funds. And it's something I'm sure that also being contemplated and also adopted by across many asset managers in Hong Kong in such a way that once they see a market opportunity, they will leverage the opportunity to maximize the benefit so long as it fits the regulation that we have in place.
Yeah, great. I know we could speak all day on this topic, but I know we're going to hit up against time here pretty quickly. So one last question, or two last questions. One for you, Fred, and then Eric, I'll give the last one to you for the last word here. But talking about Hong Kong's positioning a little bit, Fred, Hong Kong positions itself as a trusted bridge between the mainland and global markets. From your perspective, what makes Hong Kong uniquely suited to anchor this connectivity in the fintech space? What are the key enablers maybe still needed to strengthen the role?
Right. Shall I start?
Please, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so Hong Kong obviously is the preeminent international financial center, but also is here in China, right, as a big part of China. So all the advantages, I can think of New York or London or Singapore. Hong Kong has them all and more, okay, because it's part of China. So this is such a unique advantages, I think I would say, tribute to Chris and his colleagues in the Hong Kong government, and the HKMA and SFC and Hong Kong Stock Exchange, they have done a wonderful job, laid the foundation. So Hong Kong has world-class, regulatory infrastructure, legal system, and the openness. Okay, if one thing I would like to suggest, for Hong Kong to fully leverage its full potential, particularly when it comes to AI for finance, is data connectivity. Okay, even we are in a very strange time in the world right now, deglobalization, trade wars, tariff, and all that. And one thing, data is the biggest casualty, okay? In the name of national security, data now become fragmented, right? It's very difficult for data to move across borders. More difficult than capital and immigrants, okay, than people, I would say. So if we maintain that fragmented data system, then the potential of AI will be capped. Because when we speak of AI, people often forget. AI is similar to data. No data, no AI, right? So if data cannot be put, if a mainland customer come to Hong Kong and AIA, HSBC, and do not have the data, how they could offer, personalized service, customization, to us, right? So no way. So I think Hong Kong and the mainland China should be well positioned to figure out the way enable inter-regional data transfer and sharing. With all that, still would make sure both Hong Kong and mainland China feel very, very good. Data is secure, is reliable, protects consumers' privacy and the confidentiality. Okay, so if anyone can do it, I believe Hong Kong and the mainland China can do it. And if we're successful, then this can be replicated, say, between Hong Kong, Singapore, China, Southeast Asia, and eventually the world will become a more integrated place. So that's the area I would encourage Chris and the Hong Kong government to focus and invest.
Yeah. And Eric, I will give you the last word here. Would love to hear same from you, but then also and strategy and operations from Hong Kong, helping Chinese businesses really expand internationally, and how are they then helping enhance the competitiveness? So, and I have to ask, I'm sorry, if you could do this within 30 seconds or so would be fantastic.
Yeah, Hong Kong has a lot of other advantages. They have world's leading financial systems. They have outstanding professional services, and have a pool of their tenants with global insights, global knowledge. So this is really a very critical hub for China company to go global via Hong Kong. So Anne have been invested heavily in Hong Kong, and through Hong Kong, we're really reaching out to the rest of the world to building our business. And the group will also develop a suite of their product services to help Chinese companies go global. So it's including help you to collect payment globally, help you to managing the global trading, trade finance. That's really, help Chinese people to go global, particularly for the people engaging global kind of sell products through global marketplaces. I know Hong Kong's government has also announced recently their Go Global task force. They're established that task force. I think that's good news for everyone. So please capitalize on this opportunity by leveraging Hong Kong to go global. That's what I suggest.
Those are excellent words to wrap us up. Thank you so much to all three of you. Really appreciate your insights here, your experiences, your activities. I think it's given us a great window into the future, and certainly Hong Kong is going to be at the center of that, being such a strong innovation hub. So thank you.
Thank you.